Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. I am just out here double checking that I am live where I want to be. So give me just a second. Yep, looks like I'm live. So I want to get it set up so that I can see your comments real quickly coming in, which hopefully I'll get that done in a second here. I hope that you're all enjoying your Tuesday, and as you hop on, feel free to say hello, and hopefully I have a few of you joining me, and if not, that's awesome. Just watch the replay too. That's either way is cool. So, all right. Hey, Patricia, thanks for hopping on. And I see Karen is here too. So, hello, ladies, and glad that you're joining me today. So, today I'm going to show you how we made a card, or how I made a card with the Snow Front stamp set, which I know that I have used this in the past in a video, but I did get a fair number of comments that people are still nervous about using it. So I thought I'd show you another project that I made with it real quickly and show you that it really is an easy stamp set to use, and I love it. So hi Kay, thanks for hopping in from North Carolina. So before we get started on this, I do have a couple of things that I wanted to remind you of. The first thing is that Stampin' Up! Has their new paper trimmer that will be available starting on November 1st for customers to order. So if this is something that you are interested in getting, definitely it's a good price point. It's $25 for the new trimmer, which is actually less than the old trimmer. So Patricia's saying it's cold here. It's 2 above with a wind chill factor of 20 below. Ooh, burr, that sounds horrible. So we're like 60 degrees here and it's rainy, but so I can't complain. At least not freezing here. So, hey Mary, thanks for joining today. So, all right, so the new paper trimmer is coming on Friday. I have mine. If you have questions about it, let me know. I'm happy to answer. I really like it. It's a nice trimmer, and it cuts really straight, and it cuts so much better than our last one did. The blade is way better on it. So, but just in time for holidays, basically. So if you have somebody that is looking to get you a gift and you want a new trimmer, this would be a perfect thing. If you have a crafty friend who might like a trimmer, this would also be a perfect thing. So definitely check it out. Let me know if you have questions on it. And Kay saying it's 71 here. Yeah, it's, I'm sure it is a little warmer down south. So, all right. So if you have questions on the trimmer, let me know. Again, it will be available on Friday, as well as the Christmas Time is Here product suite. This is going to be for sale in a couple of different ways. So they have it all as a one big, huge bundle with one price, $112.50 on the bundle. So, hey, Catherine, yay, I'm glad that you're liking the new trimmer too. It is a nice one. So, so I've got the bundle, the full bundle with everything in it is $112.50. You can just purchase the stamp set and dies bundle, and that is $61, and you get a 10% discount on that if you purchase those together. And then you can purchase just the stamp set, which is beautiful all by itself. It does have one image that's an outline image, and then all of these fit sort of within the floral image on here. So it's kind of a 2-step stamping, or 3-step, or whatever you call it when you're stamping multiple images over the top. And it is a little bit bigger than it appears on here. So we've got just the stamp set here. You can order just the dies. You can order just the designer series paper. You can order just the bracelet, just the ribbon, and just the glitter and enamel dots. So it's all able to be ordered individually, or you can do it as a big bundle, or just get the stamp set and dies bundle, whatever pieces you're wanting. But this is available starting November 1st while supplies last. And I would recommend, especially if you're wanting to order any of these items, that you order them early, because I do have a feeling that a few of them may sell out. It's only while supplies last. And I know that there are many people who love that paper and the glitter enamel dots. So those are two that if you're interested in, I would definitely order early rather than later. So, all right, let me set that aside. And I do see that Mary asked a question about trimmer blades. As of right now, we are not able, they do not have additional trimmer blades in stock, but I think the trimmer blade is going to last for quite a while. We have been told that they are coming in the near future, so as soon as I have a specific date on that, I will let you know. But as of right now, you are not able to order the replacement blades at the very moment. But like I said, I think the blade and the trimmer is going to last you much longer than the previous ones did. So Mary's also asking, since the trim blades are better and deeper, have you found it possible to cut good cuts with 2 sheets of cardstock at a time? Most definitely 2 sheets it's very easy to cut with. I tried it with 3, and that's where it got a little iffy. So 2, you can definitely do. 3, it sort of cut it, but it didn't cut it very nicely. So, but definitely you can do 2 sheets of cardstock at a time with no problem at all. So, all right, so hopefully that answers everything for you. And if you have other questions, definitely let me know, and I'll try to keep an eye on them as I'm going through and we're putting the card together. So, all right, so let me set this aside before I end up with something stuck on it that I don't want stuck on it. So first things first, actually my card base on this card was cherry cobbler, and I switched it up just because I used a little different piece of designer series paper from that same pack that had more green in it. So I went with a shaded spruce card base on this one. All the details are going to be posted out on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. So all the cardstock cuts will be out there, and I'll try to remember to say things as I go through here too, but sometimes I forget, get distracted. So this is from the Wrapped in Plaid Specialty Designer Series paper, which is a really fantastic 6x6 Designer Series paper pack that if you don't have it yet, you definitely need to get it. And if you have a pack, you'll probably want to get a second one because I've been using this stuff up like crazy. All right, so this card base is cut to 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and then the Designer Series paper is cut to 4 1/2 by 5 1/2, so it will cover hopefully the entire card front. And I use multi-purpose liquid glue just so that I can do just what I did and hopefully not wiggle it off the card base that I was trying to put it on, which I just did. So it gives me just a little bit of wiggle room to make sure I've got it all adhered down straight. Okay, so let's set that aside and we will start doing a little bit of stamping. I went ahead and pre-cut with the stitched rectangles dies. It was this one in particular, which is the second biggest one. I just cut a panel of Whisper White cardstock with that particular die. And I've got it set up here on my Stamparatus to stamp the sentiment, which is from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set. And I used this one in particular, the Christmas cheer one, but really any of these would work with this basic card idea that I'm doing today. So, all right, so when I set it up in my Stamparatus, I actually had put this in obviously ahead of time, and then I knew I wanted it kind of lined up on the lower right. Let me get that out of here before I drop cherry cobbler ink on it. So I got it lined up down here, and we're gonna use a little bit of cherry cobbler ink, and of course, the inking part is probably going to be off the screen. Oops, sorry, the dog is barking at somebody out there. I don't know if the UPS guy is here or what. All right, so we're going to ink it down here, put it down, lift it up, and then for the additional images, the additional sentiments that I stamped up here, I actually stamped them without re-inking, and I just slid the paper down 1/4 inch using the grid paper as my guide. Hopefully, there we go. So just lining it up, hopefully you can see it up here that I'm just continuing to stamp it down, and it's going to get lighter and lighter as I go up, but that was sort of the effect that I wanted with it. And I did it a total of 6 times and just kept sliding it 1/4 inch up at a time and lining it up on my grid paper, so that made sure that I got it nice and straight and about the same distance apart each time. So that's how I did it. Made it super simple to get the image stamped on there just like that. And it's straight, which is nice because when I've tried to do it by myself, just inking and stamping it all the way up with a regular block, I always make a mess. So, hey Debbie, thanks for hopping in today. So, all right, so let me get the Stamparatus out of the way and we'll get back to stamping again. The next thing that I did was took a little gray granite ink and the mountains for the background. When I made the last card and showed it on the video, I talked about finding your center and starting there. This card I sort of did a little bit backwards just because, hey Jeannie, I'm glad you were joining today too. So did a little bit backwards just because I knew where the sentiment was going on here, and I knew that I wanted the mountains kind of up higher on this one. So I started it at the top and worked my way down. So a little gray granite ink, and we got the mountain image from the Snowfront stamp set. And I'm going to stamp that up here near the top, and hopefully I got it straight, or kind of straight. I guess mountains don't have to be straight. Don't have to worry quite so much about it. Hey Debbie, thanks for joining from San Antonio. And I stamped the image a second time. I don't know how well you can see it on here, but there's a little notch here, and I'm not entirely sure if these were designed to work together like this, but I feel like that's like the perfect spot to put in the second set of mountains. So that's what I did. So hopefully that that was the way it was designed, I'm sure. Or just a fantastic discovery that I realized kind of after the fact. All right, next thing, we're going to use a little, where did I, oh, there's my cabin. For a second, I thought I'd lost it. A little soft suede ink, and we're going to stamp the cabin image. Again, this is from the Snowfront stamp set. Just going to ink that up. Whoop, looks like I didn't quite get the corner of it done. All right, and we're going to stamp the little cabin above the sentiment. And there that is, and again, in soft suede ink. And then the next thing I did was use shaded spruce and started stamping the trees. I actually started, again, sort of backwards from what I normally do, and started down near the sentiment with the larger tree, again, because I knew where my sentiment was at and kind of knew that I wanted to build the trees in around that. So I started stamping next to the sentiment to get the pine trees put in there. And I did 2 that were full strength and 1 that was stamped without re-inking. So got that one off to the side, so he's a little bit further off in the distance. And then I've got the other 3 trees, which are the smaller ones from the Snowfront stamp set. Is there a reason why you hold the ink pad to my hand rather than your desk? The reason that I'm doing that, Karen, is simply because sometimes I get a little overzealous in my tapping and then the whole camera shakes. So that's why I do it, hold it up a little bit, just because it makes it a little less shaky for you guys. Normally when I'm stamping by myself, I just put it down on my desk and tap, tap, tap. But like I said, I'm trying not to make you guys all seasick. That's my main reason for doing it. So stamping a couple of the little trees over here in the corner, then switched to this tree. Well, no, I think I'm going to do the larger tree here next to the cabin over on this side. And then I think I'll stick another one of those over here. So, hey, Mandy, thanks for joining from Minnesota. And yes, the Stamparatus is a huge help. And actually, I mean, it's one of those tools that I think anybody can use and love. And it's something that I don't use it on every single card, but I sure am pulling it out on a lot of them, because there are just some times when you want to make sure that you've got something stamped perfectly, and that allows you to do it. And it's an awesome little tool. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Oop, I think I'm going to restamp this one in a little darker ink. Entirely sure what's going on in front of the house, but I hear, like, I don't know, engines or fire trucks or something. I know our house is not on fire, but I don't know if there's something going on. So the dog is going a little nutty out there, so hopefully you can't hear her too much. So, all right, so I think we are pretty well done with our mountain scene. The next thing that I did was I adhered this to a piece of shaded spruce cardstock, and this is cut to 3.5 by 4 7/8. You don't have a Stamparatus yet? Oh, you definitely need to get it. So it's a great tool. I'm using a little bit of snail, and I'm going to adhere the stamped panel onto the shaded spruce and hopefully get it fairly straight. All right, so I think we're good with that. And then the next thing that I did was actually, because I love these darn gold glitter enamel dots from the Christmas Time is Here product suite. So I had to add one of these because I couldn't, because there's gold in the paper, and I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of gold on my card front. So, but I do have one little quick tip with these. I have found that if I bend the acetate and kind of go underneath it and pick it up, that these come off the sheet real easily. If I try to go and just pick them straight off, sometimes the top is pulling off and the pretty glittered part is staying on the sheet. But I'm finding that if I bend the acetate and pick it off, then it comes off perfectly. So just a quick tip for using them, because I love them and I want to make sure that you guys get them and can use every single one. So, all right. So we've got our card front pretty well done here. Just need to add a few Stampin' Dimensionals to the back. Hopefully you all are having a good Tuesday. It's been kind of the normal craziness here, but not too terrible yet today. So other than, like I said, I don't know what's going on outside. And it may be just the garbage guys. I'm not entirely sure, but because I can hear big trucks, and the dog is barking, and, you know, always something going on. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this on the card front, and I hopefully will get it straight and centered. And it kind of helps me if I put it on my grid paper straight so that I can see what I'm doing. And I think I did it. So Catherine says that she lived near the Adirondacks, so the scene is beautiful, and discovered the same thing with the gold glitter enamel dots. Yep, it definitely works better to bend the acetate and pick them up, so that you make sure that you save all the pretty ones and you don't have any of them that go to waste. So, all right. Next thing is the inside of the card. So we're all done with the outside of the card front. We're going to do some quick stamping on the inside. And I've got a sentiment that is from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set. And I thought with the little houses on here that this one would be perfect. It's from Our House to Yours. So I'm going to use a little shaded spruce. There was a plane that crashed into a home in New Jersey but didn't catch the name of the town. I think I would have heard that if that happened. So I don't think that's what's going on here. At least I'm assuming I would have heard a really loud boom across the street if it in fact was a plane crashing into the house. Here in our town. So, all right, so I've got that stamped in shaded spruce ink, but it could be, I guess, I don't know, but I think I would have heard it, hopefully. So, all right, and then I'm going to do the little cabin a second time here in soft suede ink. I'm going to do that up here next to the sentiment. And then the last thing I'm going to do is adhere a little strip of the Designer Series paper, the wrapped in plaid, that I trimmed away for the card front, and because I hate for those little strips of paper to go to waste. It's nice to use them to decorate the inside of your cards. Just going to use a little snail and adhere on that piece of Designer Series paper, which is always a trick. Like I said, I can usually do it just fine anytime when I'm by myself, but the minute I get on camera, then everything gets all crookedy and crazy. So my camera would, definitely have been shaken if a plane crashed into the house. I know it wasn't my house, but even the one next to me, I'm thinking I probably would have heard it and felt it. All right, I'm going to use a little bit of snail to adhere it to the inside of the card base. Flip this over and hopefully get it lined up straight again in here. And that's it for the inside of the card. So we've got the inside all done, and then folding it and running the bone folder across it to finish up the outside of the card. So we've got both of them done here. Again, just a slightly different. This one's a little more on the red side, and this one's a little more green with the shaded spruce, and this one's more cherry cobbler. So that is all that I had for you today. So, hey, Christine, no problem. You can always catch the replay if you want to watch what we're doing today, but I am just finishing up. So thanks so much for joining me today. And Cherry says she's watching from Kentucky. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it. And hope that you have a good rest of your Tuesday. I will plan to see you again next week, Tuesday. And again, don't forget, Friday, November 1st, paper trimmer and the Christmas Time is Here product suite. So be sure you get on it and get both those ordered soon. Thanks so much for joining. Have a good rest of your day.